Okay, first I'm a dummy because I filmed an intro and then I didn't like it, and then so I deleted it and I was like, I'll do it after, but then I never did it after, so there's no intro for this one. I'm sorry. Okay, moving on. You're going to want to start out with a nice base on your eyelids. So what I've been using for like the past, I want to say like a year or 2 years, is just concealer. So what I use is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, just because this one is really full coverage and it sticks to my skin like no other. This stuff will not budge. I'm pretty sure you guys know that. This is like a cult favorite. So this is what I do. I just apply some on my lids like so. And then I just blend that out. You can do this with either a brush or a beauty blender. Personally, I like a beauty blender because it has a nice point, so you can get up right below your brow without messing it up. I know with the brush sometimes it gets kind of insane when you're trying to stick like a brush and the brush hairs like get all up in your eyebrow when you just carved out your eyebrow. So I like to use a pointed beauty sponge. The original beauty blender, which is what I'm using now, works great. I'm like hunched down like a turtle right now. Okay, and now this next step is completely optional. I was doing this for a long time, but I recently stopped doing this to help the color pay off on my eyeshadows become even brighter. So what I used to do is I used to set my lid with translucent powder. I use the RCMA no color powder. Let me grab that one for you. So yeah, I used the RCMA no color powder, and I just used a baby beauty blender, you know, the ones for like contouring stuff. I just used to like pop open this cap because I hate this little like spice shaker lid, like it's stupid. Anyways, I would just dip it in there and then I would just like press it into my lid. But recently I've stopped setting my eyelids with translucent powder first because I've noticed that the color payoff is so much better when I do not set my eyelids. And I know this is like a new trend going on right now. So either way, it's totally optional what you want to do, but today we're going to be doing, actually, no, I lied. We can set this one with powder. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one without and then this one with. I'm gonna do 2 different techniques on these 2 different eyes. So first off, I'm gonna show you what I've been doing for a long time. I'm going to lay down transition colors into my crease first, and then we're gonna build up the color. So let's see, what color should I use? Let's just use this one. I'm gonna zoom you guys in real quick. There we go. So I'm just taking this on a fluffy blending brush. This one's from BH. And you want to use brushes that have very soft and dispersed bristles if you're wanting to lay down your transition color first and diffuse all the shadows out. This one comes in a set, which I've mentioned before. I also have a fluffy blending brush from Sigma. This is the E35 tapered blending. It's basically the same thing, same purpose, so you can do whatever fluffy blending brush you prefer. It's just great to just lay down a nice diffused layer of shadow if you're doing this technique, just to build up that transition. Then next we're gonna go in with this shade. And then you kind of want to bring that up over where you've already applied the shadow once you're done blending in your crease, because then it's gonna blend those 2 shades together. I like to go in circular motions, like so. And when I'm building up the crease, I like to go in windshield wiper motions. And if you guys don't know where your crease is, you can just look back and then you can feel where your bone is. That's your eye socket, and then that is where your crease is. So you can even do this with your brush, like right here. You can just like, you're able to stick it a little bit in there. So again, windshield wiper motions. And whenever you're building up color in your crease, I do not like to clean my brushes off. I just keep the product in there because it's going to help you build and blend that eyeshadow better. I'm gonna take this shade all on the same brush. You're gonna want to tilt your head back, maybe raise your eyebrow up a little bit, and then keep building that up. And make sure to get all the way into here. You don't want your eyeshadow to stop like right here. So take advantage of whatever lid space you have. Blend, blend, blend that all out. Okay, and if you want to add more color on the outside to make it look a little bit more seamless, a little bit more blended and diffused, what I like to do is I have one of these on deck. It is a instant brush cleaner. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's like, there we go. Now you can see that. All you have to do is just swirl your brush around in here, and this is really great for taking off the product. Like nothing comes off. This one's from BH. I know City Color Cosmetics has a great one. I use that one for a long time. But yeah, these are very, very handy dandy if you just want to quickly clean off your brushes without pouring any of like the liquid or like the sprays and everything. So we're gonna go back in with that first shade that we used on the same brush, and then we're just gonna run that lightly across the edges of our shadow. This is going to help prevent any lines from previous shadow, just making it look all blended. Okay, so now we're going to deepen up the crease a little bit. Right now we're gonna use one of my favorite eye brushes. This one's from City Color. It came in a set, so it's a CCEO5 brush. It's just a very short brush that's very densely packed. So you can just tap this into the shadow and it just picks up whatever color you choose. And I'm just gonna do this again in windshield wiper motions. But do you see how that lays down that color into the crease? It's very good for concentrating whatever color you want to do into one area. And same thing with this one. I do windshield wiper motions, and then you can also couple that with little circular moves. I like to do this with my darker colors because the circular moves into the crease really help blend everything out. In my opinion, that's what I do. Remember to take that into the inner corner. And again, you can do this if you want to. This is what I like to do. I just like to take that fluffy blending brush again, and I just like to run that across whatever color I just put down, just to take that extra step to make sure it's all blended. And I'm just going to pop a little shimmer down here with my finger. Okay, and now you can see that it's kind of not really blended after I applied that with my finger. So we're gonna go back in with that first blending brush, and then we're just going to use one of the colors that we used before, and then just lightly, very, very lightly, just kind of blend the shimmers and the mattes together. And a great trick that I like to do when I'm doing this is I like to hold my brush. A great trick to do this when I need a very, very, very light hand is I like to hold my brush by the end. So when you hold your brush by the end, you don't have much control over it. It's the same thing if you hold it closer to the brush head. You're gonna get the most control when you hold it right here. But if you hold it back here, it gives the brush a little bit more room to move freely. And it's not gonna take away all that shimmer you just laid down. And it's gonna mix it with the matte that you already had on your lid. So next we're going to be taking a very, very small detail brush. This one's also from the City Color set. I like to apply my highlight in my brow bone with this. So I'm sorry if the camera's going in and out of focus. It's because I'm moving so much and it doesn't know what I'm doing. So hopefully I'm gonna get a better camera setup soon, but I don't know when that's gonna happen because your girl's a broke college student. Anyways, I'm gonna take this light shade onto this small detailed brush. And then we're just gonna pop that underneath the eyebrow. And you wanna do this on the highest point of the brow. You don't wanna take it down all the way here because that's gonna drag your look down. You're going to just wanna focus on the highest point of the brow. So probably right underneath the arch, concentrate it right here. And then you're just gonna wanna diffuse that out. And what this is gonna do, the highlight underneath your brow, is just gonna lift your eye up a little bit because that light is reflecting. So you see that? Like, ooh, wow. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other eye. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of a different technique. This is like a reverse technique. But as I said before, we are going to be setting this eye so you can see if there's a difference. Personally, I think there's a pretty big difference with the color payoff especially. So let's go ahead and blend this out and then we'll set it. And I haven't tried this, I haven't tried the not setting the concealer technique on like neutral colors like these. I have tried it with colored eyeshadows. And I will say, if you want the colors to really, really, really pop on like a creative look you're doing or whatever you might be into, do not set the lid because it's going to make it so much more vibrant. But if you're a little bit scared, which is understandable, you can still set it, which is what I'm going to do. And I don't have my baby beauty blender, so I'm just gonna use this big one right here. Just gonna dip it in the RCMA No Color powder and just set the lid like so. And I like to leave a very thin layer of powder on my eyelid whenever I like to set my lid. And especially with this technique that we're gonna do, leaving this thin layer of powder is really going to help you blend out everything seamlessly. Okay, so we're going to be doing the exact same look as this side, just on this side, and we're gonna be doing a reverse blending technique. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but I recently started doing it and it's pretty amazing for me. I don't know about all you guys, but I just want to hop on here and share this technique with y'all. So with this one, we laid down the lightest shade first and then we built up the color. On this one, we're gonna do the opposite. So technically, like, that's the name, reverse blending. We're gonna lay down the darkest color and then we're gonna diffuse that and kind of go backwards. So right here, I'm going to start with this shade right here and the CC EO5 brush, which is the densely packed brush to concentrate color, and then we're just gonna go into the crease straight away. And as you can see, like, the color payoff is, you can already tell, isn't as vibrant as this side because we did lay down that powder before. But that's okay because you can just always build it back up. But see, like I said, laying down that powder right here is gonna help you so much in the long run if you're kind of afraid of just going with a dark color onto a non-set eyelid like we did here. Okay, so now we're just gonna take the next shade up, and then now I'm using the fluffy blending brush again. And then we're just gonna slowly start bringing the shadow up a little bit more, ever so slightly, just to get that nice blend again. Again, circular motions at the top, windshield wiper motions where you want the color to be concentrated the most. And remember to bring that into the inner corner. I know I sound like a broken record, like repeating all these things, but you know, practice makes perfect. So this next color, same thing. And with this one, you are going to want to clean off your brush just because we are going lighter. So whatever you have on deck, like brush cleaner. I know Sonia Kashuk has a dry spray brush cleaner, which I haven't used yet, but I'm interested to try out. And now I'm just taking the lightest shade and I'm just like diffusing this across the lid space. And if you decide you want to deepen it up a little bit, you can totally go back and deepen it up if you would like, which is what I'm doing right here, just to even it out with this eye. But now that I'm doing this, it looks like it's turning out pretty well. Like, I don't know, I can't really, I mean, I can kind of tell a difference, but not much between the two eyes. And I'm just concentrating more color here. Should bring that to the inner corner. I'm just gonna diffuse this one. Say it with me now, circular motions. I think that looks pretty good. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think this side looks better or this side looks better? We shall see. Let's add that final shadow in. I love the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's so good, so versatile. Like, you can use it for so many different occasions. I've been really loving this like simple halo eye look. If this is like isn't even a halo eye, but it's like a lazy girl's halo eye. And a little bit more shadow because not as vibrant as I would like it to be. Down here. And you can totally apply these shimmer shades with a brush. If you do, you're gonna want like a flat shader brush. So this one I have from Sigma is really great. It's the Eye Shading E55. It's just a flat shader, and you can pick this up and then wet the brush with a little bit of like MAC Fix Plus, or like Smashbox primer water, or like any facial spray that you have, and then just like pat that on the lid. But now I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out, and we're gonna take the eyebrow highlight shade and just pop that on right now, again at the highest point. Love this shade. Okay, and now we're going to do the under eye. I'm gonna do my face makeup real quick and then I'll be right back, so stay tuned. Okay, so I finished the rest of my face, and now we're gonna go into doing the under eye portion. So what I like to do is either the one of the two methods. So I can either build up my color, like so, just like how we did on the lid, using the lightest color first, and then sweeping it all the way under. And for this, I like to use a very, very small brush. So this is the Morphe E36. I absolutely love this brush for doing, if it'll ever focus, for going underneath the eye, or for packing on a little bit of color in smaller areas into my crease. So this one works great for underneath the eyes, and I'll show you other types of brushes that you can use as well. But yeah, we're using all the colors that we used on our lids, and the darker the color is, the more on the outer portion of the eye you want to stay. So you can see that I just laid down this really dark color right here. I'm not bringing that all the way in here because it's gonna look very harsh. And with the darkest color, you just kind of want to just like dab that and kind of sweep that underneath. And I would say the darkest colors should not go past like the halfway point of your eye. And I like just like connect that with whatever's already there from the top, and then just sweep it under to make sure there's no harsh lines and there's a nice blend. So that's this one, and then I'll show you how to do the reverse side with another brush as well. So this is another City Color brush from the same set. This is just like a flat shader brush. Kind of similar to the one you can use to pack on shimmers. So with this one, we can start with the darkest color first, and just stick that closest to the lash line. And like I said before, don't extend this past the half point of your eye. And with this one, you are going to want to clean off your brush again, just like what we did in the top part. And then with the last color, sweep that under, and then just marry those two regions right here. Just go underneath and just blend it. Okay, and so I'm gonna pop on some lashes and some liner, and then I will be back to show you the whole face. Alright you guys, so this is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know if you want me to do more Triple T's tips and tricks tutorials in the future and what I should do them on. Hopefully you guys were able to learn something from me and I wasn't too confusing when I was explaining everything. I know it's a lot of information, but hopefully it helped at least one of you guys, and I think that's it for this video. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good, and I will see you guys in my next video.